Today we are going to start our lesson about the classification of goods. We have two main broad categories of goods. One is called the free goods, another is called economic goods. Alright? How can we define the free goods? These are the goods which are desirable but unlimited. They are available at zero price to everyone. Clear? And no economic resources are required to produce them. Follow my point or not? So free goods are those which require no economic resources. No economic resources are used to produce them. Resources are used to produce them. Alright? So we say this thing, the free, for example, we say this is called air, sunlight. Do you think we have to put in resources to produce air or sunlight or seawater? So when these resources are not required to produce the free goods, then we say these are the goods which are called the free goods. The free goods are those which are desirable and unlimited. There is no scarcity right now about the free goods. So we say these are the goods which are abundantly available to everyone at zero price. Whatever the demand of these goods are there, that is supplied at zero price. Okay. So these are the free goods which are, there is no economic management required for the production of these goods. Clear? But with the passage of time, when we are not preserving these natural goods, free goods, they will also become scarce. Right now, water has become an economic good. 50 years back or more than that, people were using the tap water to drink. And right now we are not using the tap water to drink because now resources are required to clean it. It has been polluted. So in future, if it happens that air has become more polluted, then we have to take our oxygen cylinders with us. So that will also become an economic good. So when any good which is polluted by the human beings by more production activities, so these free goods will not be freely available and they will also fall into the category of economic goods where resources are required to produce them. For example, oxygen in the operation theatre for a patient. That is not a free good. Alright? So that oxygen which is provided during the airline travelling or during the operation theatre to the patient, so that is not a free good, rather it is an economic good because the resources have been used to produce them. Followed? Okay. Now what are the economic goods? If I talk about economic goods, these are the goods and services which are desirable and scarce. Okay? They are desirable and scarce. How much they are scarce, how much they are limited than the desires of the people, that will determine the value of that economic good. For example, diamond and gold are desirable, but they are highly limited. So that's why their economic value will also increase. And water, which is having the desirability but it is having more supply, so its economic value is also very low. So economic goods are those which are required the resources to produce them. They are the economic goods, and we have many types of economic goods which are produced in a country. For example, the first category of the economic goods, that is the consumer goods. What are these goods? Consumer goods. So these are the goods which will satisfy the human needs and wants. And we have a many long list of these goods. They can be the merit goods, they can be the demerit goods even. They can be the perishable goods, non-perishable goods, durable goods, non-durable goods. So there are many types of consumer goods which are going to satisfy the human needs and wants, whether they are merit or demerit. We have another category of consumer goods, that is merit good or demerit good. But right now I say they will satisfy the human needs and wants, and resources are required to produce them. Second type of the goods which we talk about, they are the capital goods or producer goods. These are the goods which are required to produce further goods. Like they are not demanded for their own sake, but they are demanded for the sake of further production, like machinery, like factory building. So they are required to produce other goods and services like the consumer items. Clear? So these are the free goods, economic goods. We have the different types of them. Now come towards another type of the goods which are economic in nature. One is called the private goods, and second is called public goods. What do we mean by private goods? Private goods are those which are excludable and rivalry. What are these goods? They have two characteristics. They can be excludable, and second is what? Rivalry. Excludability means what? Once you buy your own phone, you are excluding others. Clear? So these are owned by someone. It has the excludability. Your bag, you are excluding all other students from the ownership of your bag. You are excluding others. What do you mean by rivalry? If you buy this good from the market, so its supply for other buyers will decrease. Like there are 4 or 5 buyers in the market, so everyone will try to get this good, and once one person has purchased, so its supply for the rest of the people will decrease by 1 unit. So rivalry means what? Everyone will try to get it as early as possible, that before it finishes in the market, people want to buy it. Rivalry means this thing. Alright? And there is no free rider problem. What do you mean by free rider? Everyone who pays for it, he or she will be provided the product. There is no free lunch every time in this case. So private goods are those which are having the two characteristics. They are excludable, they are rivalry, and there is no free rider problem in this case. You can give the example of your books, your personal belongings. So they are the goods which are called the private goods. Now come towards the other category of the goods, that is called the public goods. What are the public goods? Can you give me the example of the public goods?
They are non-excludable and non-rivalry.
Yes. Public goods are those which are collectively used by many people. They are also called collective goods. What are these collective goods? Public goods, they are used by many people at one time. They have two characteristics. One is called they are non-excludable. That no one can be excluded from the use of these goods. Like defense provided to each and everyone living in this country. Can we exclude anyone? Those who are living in the remote areas, they will not be provided the defense of the country? Not at all. There is no excludability of the public goods, or this park is available to only for these number of people. If excludability is there, that is not a pure public good. Clear? So we find this thing that public goods are those which are non-excludable. And non-rivalry means what? They are also having non-rivalry. What do you mean by non-rivalry? If defense is provided to you people, like the private goods. So non-rivalry means what? If they are provided to one people or more than one people, they are still available for the rest of the country people or other people who are living in the same country. For example, defense, street lighting and sea water light towers, which are used for the direction of the ships to the seaports. So all these goods, they are non-excludable and non-rivalry. And there is a one problem which is associated with public goods. What is that? That is a free rider problem. What do we mean by free rider problem? That everyone wants to enjoy the benefits of public goods, but nobody is willing to pay for them. Clear? Every one of us will want to have defense of the country or street lighting. Do you think everyone is willing to pay for these things? No one is willing. So everyone wants to enjoy the benefits of the public goods, but nobody is willing to pay for these goods. That's why we say there is a free rider problem. And market forces are demand and supply. They will show us economic inefficiency. That resources are not allocated in the production of these public goods. That's why we see there is going to be inefficiency on the part of public goods. The private producers are not willing to supply them. That's why we find economic inefficiency or allocative inefficiency. Therefore, the market forces are demand and supply will fail to supply them. Clear or not? So public goods, these are now within public goods we have another example. For example, here in this case we take the example of defense, street lighting. Alright. Another type of public good is quasi public good. What do we mean by quasi public good? They are not the pure public goods. For example, parks, roads. When parks are overcrowded, their doors are closed during the festivals. So they are excluding other people from the enjoyment of that park. Or during your home time, what we see, there is a road congestion, and due to that congestion, it is less available for other commuters. Clear? So when any one of the characteristic of public good is missing, like if there is excludability possible or it is less available for other people due to a rivalry is created, like on the road we find the rivalry is created, or during the daytime or in the evening when parks are overcrowded, rivalry will increase, or the enjoyment of the early comers that will decrease. So in that case the public good will be called a quasi public good when any one of these characteristics is missing. We say parks are also the public places, roads are also the public roads. We cannot exclude anyone. But during the congestion times, what happens? Rivalry is created. That one person is using it, a few number of people are using the road, but it is less available for the other people until unless its congestion is cleared.
So we can say that due to the shortage of resources.
No, shortage, it is still available, but due to congestion problem, either some of the people will be excluded from the use, or there is going to be the rivalry among the existing users. Clear? So quasi public goods are having one of the characteristics which is missing. So we said defense is a pure public good, where we find 100% non-excludability, 100% non-rivalry. But in case of roads, parks, libraries, we find the excludability as well. We find sometimes the rivalry, or sea beaches when they are overcrowded. So we see these are the goods which are quasi public goods which are missing one of the characteristics of the public good. So we started our lesson with the economic classification of goods, free goods, economic goods, then we move towards the consumer goods, producer goods, and then the private goods, and now the public goods and quasi-public goods. Only two goods are left over. They are the merit goods and demerit goods. We'll do them tomorrow. And this first chapter will be over, and then we will move towards the second chapter, that is the demand and supply or price mechanism. Okay.